The best way to hide a thing from black people is to put it in a book. Toni Morrison. We've all heard about colonialism, right? The stories of foreign powers coming to Africa, imposing their rule and exploiting the land and its people. Europeans coming to Africa, taking what wasn't theirs. They extracted resources, disrupted societies, and left a legacy of division and strife. But it's not just history, folks. The effects of colonialism are still very much alive today, woven into the fabric of modern African societies. It's in the very fabric of Africa today, from the borders drawn by colonial powers to the economic systems that favor former colonizers. Imagine a giant tree, roots deep in the earth. This tree represents Africa, rich in culture and history. Colonialism? That's like someone hacking away at the trunk, taking the strongest branches. The tree is left weakened, struggling to grow. The tree survives, but it's forever changed. That's Africa. Scarred, yes, but still standing tall, still growing. Despite the exploitation, the spirit of resilience and hope remains unbroken. Let's talk history, but not the boring kind. Let's dive into the stories that shaped continents and changed lives forever. I'm talking about the Berlin Conference, 1884, a pivotal moment that altered the course of African history. Europeans sat around a table carving up Africa like a birthday cake. Imagine the audacity, deciding the fate of an entire continent without any African voices present. They drew lines on a map, splitting tribes, ignoring cultures. These arbitrary borders still haunt Africa today, creating divisions that never existed before. Think about that, deciding the fate of millions based on their own greed. It was a scramble for resources, power, and dominance. This wasn't about helping Africa, it was about control. Colonial powers imposed their will, exploiting the land and its people. Resources, land, labor, all for the taking. Gold, diamonds, rubber. The wealth of Africa was siphoned away. And what did Africa get in return? Generations of struggle. The legacy of colonization left deep scars, economic hardships, and social upheaval. Countries built on artificial borders, economies rigged to benefit the colonizers. These borders often split families and communities, leading to conflicts and wars. But here's the thing about history. It's a teacher, not a jailer. It's not an excuse to stay down. It's a lesson, motivation to rise above the past. It's a reminder to rise up stronger than before. Africa is not defined by its colonial past, but by its resilience and potential for a brighter future. Colonialism wasn't just about taking stuff, it was about control. They made Africa dependent on them for almost everything, forced to grow cash crops instead of food, buy European goods, follow their rules. African farmers had no choice but to abandon their traditional farming methods. It's like teaching a man to fish, but then taking away his fishing rod and selling him one at an outrageous price. The dependency was meticulously crafted. This created a cycle of dependency that was hard to break. Even today, many African countries are trapped in this cycle. The legacy of colonialism still haunts their economies. Debt, unfair trade deals, and economic policies that favor the former colonizers. It's like colonialism never left. The chains of dependence are still very much present. But change is brewing, my friends. Africa is waking up. The new generation is determined to break these chains and reclaim their independence. The legacy of colonialism isn't just economic, it's personal. It's in the languages we speak, the education systems we inherit, even the way we see ourselves. Imagine being told your culture is inferior, your language irrelevant. This happened across Africa. It's a form of mental colonialism, and its effects linger. But here's the beautiful thing about culture. It's resilient. It adapts, survives. From the music to the fashion, Africa is reclaiming its narrative. It's easy to focus on the negative, right? But Africa is not a continent of despair. It's a continent of resilience, of innovation, of hope. Look at Rwanda, rising from the ashes of genocide. Look at the tech hubs in Nigeria, the entrepreneurs in Kenya. Africa is on the move. These are the stories we need to hear. Stories of strength, of progress, of Africans taking control of their own destiny. The journey isn't over. Challenges remain. But the spirit of Africa, that indomitable spirit, it can't be broken. We need to acknowledge the past, learn from it, but not be defined by it. Africa's future is bright, filled with possibility. So let's celebrate the resilience, amplify the voices of hope, and support the rise of a continent. Because Africa's success is the world's success. It's time to write a new chapter. Together. Know your history. Protect your soul. Subscribe for more African truths.